Hey guys, it's Chris from St. Hedwig. Welcome back to the Faith Cave and Happy Easter, everyone! Did you know Easter lasts longer than just Easter Sunday? It does. It lasts 50 whole days and we're right in the middle of it. So happy Easter, everybody. Easter's a really big deal for us and that's why we're going to keep talking about it today. So let's play a game! Okay, so we're going to play a game today called Time Hunt. Ooh. So I know a lot of you probably did some sort of Easter egg hunt last week. Yeah? Well, today we're going to do a slightly different version of it. How it's going to work is you're going to need two things. First off, you're going to need an egg. And second, what you're going to need is some kind of timer. All right? So how this works is you'll need one person to be the hider. And don't worry, we're going to take turns. We'll have a couple rounds. So if you're not the hider the first time, you'll get to be the hider the next time. All right? So the hider's going to take the egg, or really any item that you can hide. It could be big or small. It's really up to you and how hard you want to make the game, right? So they're going to take the egg, or whatever, and they're going to hide it in a room. Just in one room, a room that everyone has already decided is going to be the hiding place. All right? And everyone else is either going to close their eyes or they're going to go in another room so they won't know where it's hidden, right? Then the hider will start the timer for 1 minute, and the rest of the family will get to try and find that egg before the timer runs out. All right? Does that sound good? If they find it, then they all win. If they don't find it, then the hider wins. And then you just rotate. You find a new hider, a new hiding place, and you play again, and you find out who in your family is the best hider. All right? Does that sound good? Good. All right, so what we're going to do, pause the video, and you guys are going to play Time Hunt. All right, how was your time hunt? Who is your best hider? Who is the best hunter? I will never know the answers to that question. If you really want to, you can leave it in the comments and let me know who is the best hider in your family, or the best hunter. All right, what we're going to do now, though, is we are going to go to the church and talk a little bit about Easter. All right? Let's do it. Well, that was the plan anyway, to go and make this video in the church, but it turns out the construction in there right now is a little too loud to be able to make a video. But I figured, hey, why not show you the new progress on the sanctuary? It is looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. They finally got the crucifix back up there. They have that kind of goldish background that's going up, and we got all that new fangled white stuff and that shelf thing. It looks pretty cool. I'm pretty excited. But anyway, this is what our church looks like now, and so when you finally do come back, it'll look brand new. Okay, so today we're talking about the very first people who found out that Jesus didn't just die, but he was resurrected, right? So on that day, they went to the tomb, right? And the tomb was the place that Jesus was buried. Now, we don't have a tomb, so we're going to pretend that Quinn Hall is our tomb, right? And if you look, it's very dark inside. That's how it would have been in the tomb. It's kind of like a cave where you put somebody who has died, right? So the first two people were Mary Magdalene and her friend Mary, two disciples that had followed Jesus through everything and had been with him through all the different lessons. And when they showed up to the tomb, something really, really crazy happened. First, there was an earthquake. And then there was lightning. And then there was an angel that came. Whoa. And this angel told him something. He said, hey, whoa. First off, do not be afraid, because some of them were afraid. There were two guards that were meant to keep watch and make sure nobody did anything like tried to steal the body of Jesus away in the middle of the night or something. Those two guards were so afraid from the earthquake and the lightning and the angel that they were shocked. They weren't even moving. It says in the Bible, it was like they were dead already, because they weren't moving at all. But the angel turned to the two Marys and said, hey, don't be afraid. Your friend Jesus that you came to look for is alive. He lives again. He's been resurrected. Then they said, go ahead and look, see for yourselves. And they went into the tomb. And they saw that Jesus wasn't in there anymore, right? And the angel said, go back to the disciples and tell them that Jesus lives again. And that's what Mary did, both of them. They ran back and they told them, right? That's the story of how we first found out that Jesus didn't really die. He came back again. He was resurrected, just like we will all be when we get to go to heaven. Now I have two questions for you that I want you to go around the room and answer. So hold on, wait, listen to the question, and then pause the video, and you're all going to discuss it as a family. So the first one is, how would you react if you saw the earthquake and the lightning and the angel, right? What would you do? Would you be scared? Would you be surprised? Would you be like, that was the coolest thing ever? What would you do? That's the first question. The second one is, if the angel told you to go share this good news that Jesus had risen from the dead, who would you want to share it with first? Okay? So answer those two questions. I'm going to pause them and put them on the screen now. It's time to share. All right, good. Thank you for sharing. Let's go do our closing prayer now. All right. So for our closing prayer, the first thing we're going to do is I would like if you can have one of your parents, or if you want to read it, you can have one of you take the Bible, go find the Bible somewhere in your house, and you're going to read over this scripture that we just talked about. All right, so I'm going to put it up on the screen, and you guys are going to read it together as a family. Go! All right. And now what we're going to do is we're going to close in prayer. Now that we've invited the scripture, the story of God, which we know is where Jesus lives, he lives in the Gospels, we invite the story of resurrection into our own lives. So what I want you to do is in a moment, go around, sit in a circle, have everyone hold hands, and each person in your family is going to share something they've been sad about recently. It doesn't have to be today, maybe in the past week or even the past month. Just something they've been sad about, something that almost feels like they may have died inside, right? Spiritually. And then we're going to ask God to bless all of us and to help resurrect our own spirits, right? And bring the joy of the gospel into our hearts, all right? So we'll say that. So everyone will go around, share something they've been sad about recently, and then if we can have one of your parents lead the prayer, or you can if you want, which will be just a very simple, Dear Jesus, we ask that you resurrect our spirits and help us to live out the joy of the gospel in spite of our sadness. Amen. All right, that's how it's going to go. We're going to go ahead and pause and pray that together as a family. Well, with that, I ask that you keep my family in your prayers. Know that all of your families are in mine. Also, we ask that you just keep the whole church in your prayers these days, as well as the whole world, really, during this crazy time of pandemic that we're living in. I just ask that the Lord's peace be with all of you, and that you have a great week. All right, bye, guys. Oh, wait, hold on. One last thing. So I know for a lot of people, a big part of their worship is being able to give back to the church on Sundays. And now that we're not actually in the church building on Sunday, it's not only easy to forget, but it's a lot harder to do. So in the description down below, I put a link for online giving. So if you'd like to just continue giving the same way that you always have here at St. Hedwig, please do that if you can. It's the perfect way to make sure this ministry and all the other ministries are able to keep going and just still be here when we finally get to come back to church. Thank you, and God bless.